Hello and welcome to Nitro Talk. How's everyone doing today? Thank you very much for joining me. If you're into nitro engines, vehicles, anything at all to do with the nitro side of the RC hobby, I would love a like, subscribe, anything you do, comment, support the channel. I really appreciate it. So, as you probably read in the title, finally, we have an update on the Junkyard Mutt, the pieced together engine that we have here. It has been quite some time since we built it, and to be totally honest, the reason why there hasn't been an update on it, I have been driving it. Since I put it together, I've taken it out to the track on Sundays when I go. At least, I think this is probably the fourth time. It's probably the fourth Sunday that I've taken it out to the track. Before today, I did not have a lot of luck with it. So anyone who remembers, we did chuck it onto the break-in stand, and we got a good idle out of this. And I could get a good idle out of it right now. Getting a good idle out of it is not a problem at all. Where the problem came in is when you would try to actually get into the throttle on it. The first 3 weeks I had it out, I tried to get a tune on it that would rev high and idle, and could not do it. Did put a brand new glow plug in it. Tried working on the tune. So in my troubleshooting, I had because I had set the head clearance to 0.6, which actually I realized after I did it, 0.6 was what I kind of always set my engines to. But I used to run 25% nitro, and that's your rule of thumb that I go by is 0.5, 0.6, 0.7 for 20%, 25%, and 30% fuel, respectively. But I haven't been running 25% fuel. I've been running 20% fuel. So I thought maybe let me remove 0.1 head shim from it, right? See if that would help. And it did. It did seem to make it better, right? So then I said, well, I removed 0.1 and it was better, but still couldn't get it to run well. Let me go ahead and try to remove another 0.1. Okay, did that and it was back worse again. So I put the 0.1 back in, and so right now it has a 0.5 millimeter head clearance on it. Okay. All right, so took it out in a few weeks, fired up, could get it running, but it does something that I kind of refer to as quenching the glow plug. It's a rich condition where when you get into full throttle, it kills the engine, right? Now, it's not as simple all the time. Of course, it can be as simple as you just need to lean out the engine, but other times there are problems which cause the quenching that are not as simple as just a rich situation. So, you know what? I think now would be a good time to stop and insert a little footage of what we got today out of the Junkyard Mutt in the Kyosho MP9 buggy. Check this out. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the Junkyard Mutt in the MP9, by the way. I needed a drink of water. So that, like I said, was the Junkyard Mutt. And now, if you listen to that, if you listen closely to that, it certainly doesn't sound great as far as an idle. No bogging of any sort. Beautiful bottom end, beautiful top end. No lean bog, no hesitation. Just a very high idle, right? A high hanging idle. That is basically so. All right, so let me get back to where I was. Tried the head shim, removed one, removed another, put it back. So essentially, from where I had built it, it has 0.1 millimeter head shim removed. All right. I refused to believe that it was a carburetor issue. I was 99.5% sure that I had just pulled that carburetor. I had a Novorossi carb on here. I had just pulled that carb off of a perfectly great running engine. So I did not want to entertain it being a carb issue. New glow plug, adjusted the head clearance. Finally today, and I'll be honest with you, I had given up. Had I gotten around, I was supposed to, today is Sunday, I went to the track earlier today. I was supposed to, last night, right, Saturday night, my plan was to swap it out. I was going to give up, right, and basically call it a failure because I got the engine to idle, right? I could get it to where it could idle all day, right? I could do that. Does that mean it's a success? I don't think so, because an idling engine, you can't run an idling engine. To actually use the engine, you need to be able to operate the throttle. And seeing as how I had not been able to drive the buggy, right, with the engine, I was considering it a failure. But so today I fucked around, didn't get around to swapping out anything last night. So I went today with, and I'll get to the engines in the Hyper 7s here momentarily. All the engines intact, and everything ran great today. I got around to, let me go ahead and give the Mutt one last shot. And I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and swap the carb, right? Just to eliminate any kind of question mark. And you know what I also did to eliminate a question mark was, where in the heck is that at? So if you remember, when we put this thing, mounted it into the Kyosho, I put this bullet pipe on it here. I had never ran this pipe before. That was the very first time I had ever ran this pipe. That's not a good idea. You don't want two question marks. That way you don't know what's going wrong. You know what I mean? An unknown pipe and an unknown engine wasn't the smartest thing. I should have put on a pipe that I've used many times before and I know works great with tons of engines. And there's a few of those. I went with one of my favorites, the classic 2035 pipe. So took off the Novorossi carb, put on actually an Alpha matching Serio carburetor and the 2035 pipe. And I tell you what, it is not, so now I can, it's certainly better. I can run the vehicle. And maybe here's kind of what I am thinking is I can't get it to idle good and run good. I can get it to run good, but only with, I have to keep the throttle open a fair good amount or it will stall, right? It will load up and stall. Just lean it out a bit, then it's super lean. And it sounds lean in the video already. But if you'll notice, I keep tapping on it. If I were to stop hitting the throttle, it would load up and stall within 5-10 seconds tops. It is just, it's not running right. Now, again, you saw the video. It was running well enough to run the buggy, hit all the jumps good, great speed on the straightaway. I think, here's the possibility. It could be that the brand new OSP3 glow plug that I put on this engine is not good. I wanted to go ahead and try another brand new P3 glow plug, but I did not have any with me. My mistake. It's definitely something I should have, and I'd used my last one. I did not have any new ones. So maybe with another new glow plug, it might be able to get a tune on it that will idle good and perform good. But we'll find out someday, because have decided I'm going to go. It's engine swap time. It is time. I've had this out there a few times. I finally got to run it. I will call it now, the Junkyard Mutt. I will call now a success. I was able to run the buggy, do several laps. Nice, not hobbled around the track, doing all the jumps great. Good laps with the Junkyard Mutt. So success, I'll call it. Certainly not a perfect success. It still needs some work, but the concept, I think, it was decent. I got it to work. I'll finally. It took me a bit. It took me some tinkering to get it going. All right, that's the Junkyard Mutt. That's the update on the Junkyard Mutt, the Kyosho MP9. I'm going to talk a little bit real quick about the other engines, and then we're going to talk about, I want to try to swap all three of these engines out by next weekend, so I can go out next weekend with three fresh, new, different engines. Am I swapping these engines out to make videos? Yes, but also no. I never really, even, before I started making YouTube videos, I never really put an engine in a buggy and run it till it dies. I've always kind of been, put a gallon, two maybe on it and swap it out and maybe come back to it later. You know what I mean? All right, so the Mutt is coming out. What's going to be going in the Kyosho MP9? All right, what's going to be going in there? We're going to talk about that in a moment. But first, let's talk about the Hypers. And I tell you what, they have been, and well, yeah, that body there is going to need some work for sure on this one. I just repaired the other body right there, and now, I'm going to need to do my Lexan body repair with Shugu on that one. So I have had, for longer than I had the Junkyard Mutt and the Kyosho, all winter, essentially. We're getting back into summertime now, here soon. I've been running the Novarossi rolling in my Pillow Ball Hyper 7, and I have been running the Ultimate M5S in the C-Hub Hyper 7. And both of them have been absolute peaches. Now, was there any kind of question? No. Both of these engines, my rolling here and the Ultimate M5S, were engines that they weren't question marks, right? They were great running engines that were put up in great running order, and it was great to pull them back out and run them. I didn't get a whole lot of footage. I didn't really, the past few times I went out to the track, I didn't really record much. A lot of people out there. I need to get more comfortable with filming around people. But I did get the camera set up today, and I got, if you saw the footage of the Junkyard Mutt, real quick, let's go ahead and check out some footage of today running the Novarossi rolling with Novarossi 2096 pipe. Check that out. So, as you see, beautiful running out of the Novarossi rolling. I've always loved this engine. This was the last engine. If you watch my video of this engine, I'm sure I mentioned this before. This was the last engine I bought at retail from like Novarossi Direct before they shut down. Not for collecting, actually for running. And I ran it for quite a while. It got put away, and I just ran it some more with the Works Racing. Was it the Power Clutch? Works Power Clutch? Or is that the new? Anyways, the Works, it's got a Works Racing 4-shoe centrally sprung clutch on it. Great clutch, and it has been running. The clutch has been performing beautifully. All around, just totally pleased and happy with the rolling. But like the Mutt, the Junkyard Mutt, it is going to be coming out also, and something else coming in. Real quick note about. Oh, that doesn't. It's kind of saggy in the rear. What's going on back here? Did you see that? Not very good rebound. Am I getting shocks kind of almost sound like they might need rebuilt. Anyways, that's kind of to the point where I was just about to, this particular one, my pillow ball Hyper 7 here, is about pretty soon, it's been pretty soon for a while, ready for a rebuild. I have been beating on this thing for crap, at least 2 solid years now. Probably like, I've probably been, I've been beating on my C-Hub, car for at least 2 years. This probably thing has been running for like 3. This is due for a rebuild, a total rebuild. I'm talking about the buggy, not the engine. This buggy is due for a total breakdown and rebuild soon. I am going to go ahead and swap another engine on into here. If you can check out in the video, and now my driving has never been great, right? But I've been feeling pretty good lately. I've been feeling it. I've been feeling the track. My driving has improved. It may not look great to you. It isn't great. Trust me there. But it's better than I used to be. It's an improvement for me. And this car, it still gets around the track great. That's the point I'm trying to make. This buggy still gets around the track nicely. So it'll be rebuilt soon. But for now, we're going to be swapping out the engine. All right. That was, we got to take a look at the Novarossi rolling powered Hyper 7 with pillow ball suspension. And then, oh man, I knew I loved, who doesn't love an OS speed engine? Everyone does. How could you not? They're the best engines. They're the best engines around. Let's just go ahead and say it. The OS speeds are the cream of the crop when it comes to 8-scale off-road racing engines. This is one of the few that I have, and it had been put up. I wanted to give it a run with the Ultimate pipe. This is the Ultimate 2142 pipe with the no springs. It's got the quick release pipe. Let's go ahead and take a look. I also got some footage of the Ultimate today. Check that out. I got you, Flip. Absolutely brilliant, lovely, sexy. What else can you say? Just you cannot ask for more than that. The idle, that's the when you don't run an OS, a high-end OS for a while, you run a bunch of other engines. You forget how low an engine can idle, right? An OS speed, especially a ceramic, high-end, nice one like this. They can idle so low. I love an OS just ticking away, super low idle, but just steady, and you can hit it, and it'll actually not stall. It'll take off, right? It's tuned. It'll idle super low. Anyways, there's a little bit of footage of that. Beautiful. I nothing more to say other than I love the Ultimate. I love the OS speeds, and I'm going to be sad to see this one go. But it's time for an engine swap. I certainly want to put this back up. Kind of make a note on the card. Probably put maybe 3/4 of a gallon. I probably didn't put a gallon through it since I've installed it back in here, but a good 3/4 of a gallon, I'll say, 3 quarts. So we're going to yak that out of there and replace it. So we talked a little bit about the engines that are currently in the buggies. Now let's see, what are we going to swap into these buggies? What are we going to be running next? Look, I was also noticing these tires are holding up great. It's not like I've been running a lot. I've probably skipped 2 out of the last 5 or 6 weekends out there. It's been rained out or something. But I've been getting out there every Sunday, and I usually run, half a gallon to 3/4 of a gallon through the various, buggies I have out there. I burn me some fuel, but these buggies they're Hyper 7s. What else can you say about them? They're built like tanks. But these tires are holding up great. Look at there, got some. I like these are. I would say these are a small pin. Certainly, these are a small pin. I like a small to medium pin. Certainly not a large pin guy, but I got great performance out of these. This buggy, as well as the other one, both of them, both of the different suspensions on the Hyper 7s, they both felt great to me. I was able to get around the track, I would say similar speed, similar time around the track with both buggies. All right. This one was the most recently rebuilt, this Hyper 7 buggy chassis. This one, it's been about 2 years, but this one is still nice and solid. This is the last one built, so this is like the latest evolution of the Todd Hyper 7 with my modifications. You know, I have my captured shock parts with the nuts on them. One more modification I'm going to make when I rebuild that one is shaving a little bit off of the brake disc tends to rub on the clutch bell. So I'm just going to shave it down ever so slightly so it doesn't make that mark on the clutch bell. All right. What engines are we going to put in the 3 buggies? Let's take a look. Let's talk about that. All right, so I had some options, as you could assume that I do. Let me clear this off really good here. So, but before we take a look at them, number one, I wanted one of the engines to be brand new. I want to do my Todd method break-in video. I've made a video discussing the Todd method of break-in, but I actually want to go ahead and record a Todd method break-in so we can then run that engine. So I wanted one brand new engine. I thought about, here's a couple that I contemplated. Number one is one of these 2010 XBHCP SH engines. I bought 2 of these specifically so I could break in and run one of them. That's the SH, says on the head XBP8 Plus. This has a temp sensor. HCP21. This is the, like I said, lots of long ass name. The SHPT 2010 XBHCP. That is an option that I decided against. One day, I'm certainly gonna break in one of these days. We got all the time in the world. I did not choose that one. I also did not choose this one. I have in here, I have like 5 or 6 track stars, but this particular one is brand spanky. I got a brand new track star here. And I tell you what, I'm pretty sure I paid $70, maybe 80, 5 or so, 6 years ago for, I always bought two at a time. I think I bought 2-3 times is probably what I did. But you know, I was thinking about breaking in and running this engine, the Trackstar here, which I will, just like all the others. Eventually, you know, they're all going to get run. And then I was thinking, you know, this is a cool piece right here, a piece that I really appreciate in my collection. The Trackstar is a thing of the past. You got the pineapple coolant variant, is all there is left. The original, this here being one of the original Trackstar engines, are a thing of the past. They're no longer available. And I think it's a super cool piece to have a brand new one. So I did not decide to break in and run the Trackstar. Okay. So what did I choose as my brand new engine to Todd methodize, get a video doing the break-in? That is, I'm ready, right? I gave one shot. I gave one shot to for anyone who's been around for a long time and is familiar with the Force Pro 21 days. I gave a shot to an engine with no oil grooves on the piston. Okay, it had a tapered. It was oddly shaped. It was a thing on the piston. Okay, the engine ran great for a while, but then kind of fell off like really soon. I got maybe, I don't even know if I got 2 gallons out of it before it kind of turned to crap. But that was the out of all of these Force Pro 21s, I got a few of these, 4 or 5. Just that one had that funky piston in it. So I have decided, I have here a standard brand spanky new with oil grooves on the piston, right? Standard piston in there. Force Pro 21. I have decided I'm going to break in and run a Force Pro 21. So look forward to that video, the Todd method break-in of the Force Pro 21, and then I'm looking forward to running that one. So that is the new engine, and it's not going to go in the Kyosho. It's going to go in one of the Hyper 7s. I'm not exactly sure which yet. But we got 2 more engines now, right? We got something to go in the Kyosho. We're going to take the Junkyard Mutt out, replace it with something. And then the other Hyper 7 needs something as well. So the 2 other engines that I have decided to throw in, the other 2 buggies, are, and first a couple runner-ups again. This Dynamite 21 XP, is that the name of it? Yeah. The Dynamite Platinum 21 XP. This is essentially this 2010 XB HCP. I bet you these are very, very similar engines. This Dynamite Platinum is made by SH, although not all of the Dynamite Platinums are made by SH. I think there's another one made by Alpha. But this is an SH, as you can see, 21C on there. Did not select that one to run, thought about it. I have not ran this engine yet. But I think, I feel like I have, though. You know what I mean? I've ran a crap ton of 8-port. I'm pretty sure this is an 8-port SH 21 engines. I ran a crap ton of them. So I feel like I probably ran something very, very similar to that. Did not choose that. The other one I did not choose is the GMAR. I had bought 2 of these to have one new for the collection and one I wanted to run. Broke one in, Todd method, of course, and it ran beautifully. I loved the performance I got out of my GMAR P5. Ran it for like a gallon-ish or so, maybe. Is this the new or the used one? I think this is the new one here. Ran it for a gallon or so and thought about putting it back in, but did not. So, what engines are? I'm sorry dragging this out, and I'm sorry that I haven't been able to get videos up like I used to, right? It's kind of a me thing. I'll be honest with y'all. My interests, kind of, if my interests take my focus, right? And depends on which of my interests I'm focused on at the moment. The other ones tend to get backburnered, right? And as of late, I've had my other interests taken up a lot of my time. But thank you very much, anyone who is still hanging out, watching the video. I'm like I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here. There will be, I'll go ahead and, tell you now, if anyone has been around watching long enough, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's going to be periods where I might not get many videos up. But then there are also going to be periods where I'm getting tons of videos up. It's going to wax and wane, right, throughout the years. But we still have tons to talk about, tons of engines to run, pipes to try. I want to, now that I took this bullet pipe off, I want to try it. I want to take a beautiful running engine and take the pipe off and throw this on and see, with an engine I know is good and running great, check out that pipe. Okay, I want to do that. All right. What engines are going in the buggies? We're yakking out the ultimate M5S. We're yakking out we are removing the Novorossi rolling, and we are removing the Junkyard Mutt. The three engines coming out, and in their place, number one is going to be the Force Pro 21, brand new. We're going to do a break-in video on it. Second is going to be the SH. I decided on the old PT003. The first, I had this one before I had the XB HCPs. And I've ran this engine a couple of times already. As we could take a look at the crank, look at our witness mark. I would say that engine's got at least 2 gallons on it by looking at those witness marks, maybe even 3 gallons. It has been ran. It does run great. I was not, maybe I'll experiment again with the stock carb. I could not get the stock carb when I went to break this in originally. Could not get the stock carb to run good. That is a Trackstar carb, an alpha carb on there, and it runs beautiful with that. This is the green head SH with the temp sensor right there. And a great running engine. I've decided I'm going to throw that one in and run that one for a while in one of the buggies. And in the other one, so that's 1, 2. Why not? Buckle my shoe. Let's go ahead and run the OPS 21 Speedster Power. One of my favorites. If you know me, you know the channel, I have a crap ton of favorites. I probably got 40 favorite engines, but this is certainly up there amongst them. It is running an OS21J carb, which, you know what? I would probably go ahead and say there's no better carb than the 21J. You could make a good argument that there are carbs that are as good, but I don't think there's anyone who can make a solid argument that there is a better nitro carb than the 21J. We have our, if you remember, we talked about when we took this thing down, the crank got our threads are messed up on the end of the crank. So I got a special tiny screw that I use to hold the clutch on. But I've ran it a couple times like that for various, not super long periods, but fairly decent, few trips, maybe a quart or two through it, and it held together good. So we'll be putting the clutch on here. We're putting the clutch on all these. We're going to be mounting all these up and installing them in the buggies. The 1, 2, and now one thing I hate about this is certainly one of the most, I feel, one of the more collectible engines that I have. Very hard to find one of these, and very hard to find a replacement head if you ever would be trying to do that. This is a 6-bolt head, so I don't have another that I could throw on it. So I will be protecting this head whenever I run this OPS engine, because I cannot replace the head with an aftermarket one. I will run some fuel tube zip tie protectors on there. So there's our engine lineup, the next engine lineup. And like I said, I want to try to get these mounted in the buggies in time for next weekend. I'll get a video of each going in, getting swapped over, the clutches installed, etc., set up, throttle, and whatnot. Everything you do when you swap an engine out. What was I just thinking about? Oh, yeah. So I was kind of thinking, since I was thinking about putting this in the MP9, right? This is the oldest, certainly, of these engines. The MP9 is probably not the older. The Hyper 7 is probably older than the MP9, but the MP9 is certainly an older chassis. Anyways, I was thinking about running the CRF V6 clutch on here. The Team Orion CRF clutch. I ran this before a few times. Really liked it. It's a really nice clutch. I think it'd be cool to run on that engine on the MP9, right? I think it'd be a cool combo. All right. That's an update on the Junkyard Mutt, the buggies, the engines. That's the vehicles that I take to the track and race. That's the update on those, on my 2 Hyper 7s and my MP9, and the engines therein. Anyone still watching, I really appreciate y'all. Thank you very much for watching the channel, for liking, for commenting, anything at all. Just watching, joining me whilst I rap about nitro engines. I really, really appreciate it. We'll have another video soon. We'll have a break-in. We'll have an install. See y'all then. You know what? We also got to... I got my boot dust covers. They are nice and soft, pliable in the mail. So I need to do my moly coating install on that video for the old rotary carb. See y'all later. Have a great day. Thank you very much for watching.